box before, but these are not bad at all. This is a brand new one. If you guys were with me last week, you notice I was having a few problems because I don't keep them as clean as I should. But no worries. We're just going to pop it out. We have a brand new brush here. What up, buddy? Oh, we got to get.
What?
Yeah, I got you a seat there.
Oh, that's a nice seat,
yeah,
too.
I know. It's good lumbar support.
What are we doing?
So we got just a tank panel.
Okay.
I've already put down the base color there, just the first shade that we'll talk about, and then we have this. What is this? Like a Day of the Dead girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here because I there's no way I would have been able to say that. Say it one more time.
Dia de los Muertos.
There it is. So I'm gonna lay out a couple of lines, maybe do a spider web design, but the really what I'm doing is going to be painting this monochromatically.
Okay.
So what I did is I took the three basic, the main colors, red, yellow, and blue, and mixed a brown together, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. So I just base coated it in a very, very light brown. So that's we're going to be laying out the stencil. So and then laying out some tape. So it should be pretty cut and dry. We're going to do this a little bit faster than what I normally do. So we're going to do a sped up version. But yeah, I was talking a little bit about. Do you use this airbrush?
I do.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's the airbrush I use.
Okay, so not bad for $30, right?
Yeah, not bad at all.
I know. So we'll be using this. I usually take the crown cap off. So just the first thing I do is just take this guy off and just put him back in the box because that way you're able to see your needle. It does expose the needle and it could get bent, so that's the whole reason why it's kind of there. But the fact that you can see your needle when you're doing detail, it's a pretty big deal. That way you know exactly where the air is coming out. If you have this thing on, you're kind of shooting blind.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it really where it's coming out until it gets a little ways out of the airbrush. So that's why most people they'll pop these things off first thing. But yeah, I mean this is it's not the best airbrush in the world, but for $30 it gets the job done, and we're gonna be able to do something really cool here. Hopefully.
Well, and if it gets clogged up or you don't want to clean it, you can throw it away and get a new one for $30.
Yeah. Yep. And they have a smarter idea. Is just get the $7 exchange on it. $7 warranty. But it comes with a 90-day warranty, really. Yeah. I could definitely convince this thing.
Oh, yeah.
This thing's screwed within 90 days.
So you might have already said this now or not, but why with this stencil, how come you cut out certain things and not other things?
Because really I want to keep it all together in one piece. So I kind of strategically do it in a way that it kind of keeps it all in one piece. There is some see how that's kind of detached, but it's all hooked to this border piece right here. Same thing with the eyeball and a couple other spots that you can't cut it all out, but you can cut out most of it. And you can also cut out more as you go too. That's another nice thing is you can it destroys your stencil as far as placement goes, but you could always cut out the eye, have that separate. And I think that's what I actually plan on doing. I have this cut out. And
I see that. Okay.
But I did leave one little tab right there. Mm-hmm. So I was really careful about, making sure leaving that little tab. So that way I have good placement. Because if I have pieces all over when I'm starting, it's just I have nowhere to, this is supposed to be my roadmap. I need to make sure everything's exactly where it needs to be. So if I'm going to start cutting this thing up into islands, have different pieces, I need to make sure I do it after I lay things down and get good placement.
That makes sense.
Yep. So we got the Avante here. I got that hooked up. I think we should all be all good once that time comes. We got a little bit of tape going. Shoot, you want to tape this thing out while you're here?
Do I?
Well, it's really simple.
Yeah, what do you want me to tape?
Sure. Just tape right up around here.
Okay.
So, and just try to keep that distance. And then don't worry about this. Just kind of keep that same distance, and that'll just be fatter.
Okay.
So aim for I don't know, ½ inch or something. No, it doesn't need to be perfect either.
Yeah.
And I kind of tape this down to make it a little easier.
Perfect.
All right. I like when people show up. Wow. I'm off the hook. Whew.
At least for a second, you're off the
hook. Someone's asking if we sell the orange tape online.
Yes, it's about to come out. We have them in orange and blue, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and 1/16 inch. And we'll have them in like a combo package. I don't want to forget to show the old Raiders paddle from last week too. Wow.
So I've been doing a little trick lately that I taught myself.
You taught yourself a trick? Let's hear it.
So I leave my finger when I'm taping on the actual tape line, and then I brace my other finger on an edge. And then I'm able to follow that around and get as much of a good edge as I possibly can.
That's
like a pinstripe artist does. They'll do that sometimes, I think.
But then sometimes it gets a little wonky too. So I really like the orange tape too.
It's a little more stretchy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's all good. It's all in the green, the blue.
Why orange instead of green?
It's just the color, really. It is a little softer though. It's hard to tell the difference, but
it does.
I'll trim that right there real quick. Let's.
What'd you say? It does seem what?
Does seem a little bit softer.
I'll trim this so it has a nice edge on it right here. Make it go another 4 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was going to put some pressure on you, but didn't happen, did it?
Maybe.
Okay, well, since you got it going,
yeah.
let's do right here.
Okay.
Come off right here, straight off the line, and then do like
just a little curve.
Yep.
In orange.
Yeah.
Okay.
But make it about like that big. You can make it however big you want. We'll make it work.
Do you find yourself moving your project a lot more when you're not on camera?
Yes.
Me? Oh yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
Yep, that looks great. Yeah, I'd probably have this thing in my lap.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Just recently listened to your podcast episode with Tugger Speed. Start a paint podcast.
Yeah, I can't talk enough for that. You would be able to start a paint podcast there, Diamond.
Yeah, with you.
Well, yeah, that would be true. We could.
Yeah.
You do enough talking to keep me talking. That's why I'm glad you're here, because there'd probably be total silence right now.
Having to think with your tongue out.
All right. So let's do. Okay, so we're gonna have to do the spider web last.
Okay.
Because of the mere fact that it's kind of tricky and we don't want it sitting around. We're gonna be taping and stuff like that, so it's a little more complicated. We don't want it to unstick. Okay. It looks good though.
Okay,
we're going with it.
Yeah. And actually, that orange with that base coat you did, that'd be a cool color combo too.
The orange with the
Yeah.
It does look good. I like doing the different colors of tape because it does kind of give you ideas, you know. So okay, so that's about how we're gonna place this right here, and then I do have some new lace that I want to show that we'll be laying out. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is.
Oh, I hope that translates on the camera. That is really cool.
Yeah. So it's a cool pattern. It's nice and open too around these areas. Has a nada. So yeah, we'll try that, and then the little bit of spider web there.
Can people buy that new lace?
Yeah.
Where at?
It actually, we replaced it with the green that we had.
Okay.
So just on Amazon,
eBay,
anywhere really.
What about limeline.com?
Limeline.com. Yep. And if they hashtag Lime in the comments, they have a chance to win a $25 gift card.
Today?
2 of them.
Oh, crap.
2 winners. So midway through, we'll go ahead and spin the wheel. And then at the end, we'll spin again. Okay.
Log on, be done.
All right. So I'm going to move this off to the side because we're going to talk paint here for a second. Okay. We need to know how to mix the paint. And I'm going to kind of give a little bit of a demo here of.
Well, and can I just say, since we're doing a demo, he's showing these cups. These are like paper.
They're paper cups.
Don't use the plastic ones. I made that mistake.
Oh, yeah.
And most of this material melts it. I was actually doing something, and I'm like, oh, I need to go get more, and picked up the cup, and paint dripped out the bottom. I'm like, oh, that's why he said not to use plastic.
Okay, so we want to do a brown sepia kind of feel to this thing. So I don't have brown. We don't. Well, we don't have brown here, so we're able to mix the brown that we want simply by mixing the 3 primary colors together: the yellow, the blue, and the red. And these are just base coats. They're not candies. They're just like a regular base coat, like you'd paint your car or whatever, paint your graphics. Is we're going to make a cocktail of these to make the color brown that we want. So I'll kind of show how to do that real quick. I already have them mixed up because it does take some time, but I do want to show you how I got there at least, you know. So we'll take red to start.
And if I remember correct, on all the base coat containers, it does kind of show how to mix different colors, right?
It does. Yep. It does show, and it kind of gets you in the right area right here, like how, you know, how to mix everything. But you kind of have to. You kind of have to put a little more here and there to get the right color shade that you want. So we'll do blue. We're just going to guess here because we can always add more or less of something else. We'll do the yellow. This is going to be really satisfying. Watch this.
Now, if you were to tell me to mix these right now and that was going to turn out brown, I'd tell you you're incorrect.
Well, I might be actually. So we probably most likely have a purplish right now.
Oh,
yeah. Well,
see, well, don't add more. I want to see.
Okay.
Let's just see.
Okay, because I think this will be more of a purple brown.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and
oh no, that's pretty. Oh, that was rad. Did you see
green.
that?
Yeah, it's going green. Well, I might be wrong. It might be more of a. It's more of a green than a purple. So if it's too green, like that's too green, that's not even close to brown, right? What color out of these?
Oh, good hell!
Yellow, red, and blue.
I'm glad he asked you and not me.
What I need to put into this to make it less green.
So, you know, this is like elementary school stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. Pretty sure my grandson knows.
So, but if I were to guess, I would guess if it's green, maybe red.
You're right.
Was I really right?
Yes, you're correct. Yes. And the reason why it's red is because red is the only. So there's 3 colors here.
Mm-hmm.
Red is the only color that doesn't go into green.
Yep.
So these 2 colors make green. So if it was too purple,
we'd add yellow.
Yeah. Correct. Right. And I thought I put more. Obviously, I put more blue and yellow in there than I thought. But yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add more red.
Yeah.
Red's opposite on the color wheel.
Opposite on the color wheel, exactly.
Now, does Limelight sell color wheels? Because that'd be awful helpful.
You know what? I have thought about that.
We have thought about that so many times.
Yeah, because it's so nice to have a color wheel on hand. You can see here, mix this up, and it's getting there.
Yeah, it's going more brownish.
Yep, we'll go a little more red here.
Someone said y'all gonna restock the bags of Metal Flake. Was looking at Amazon in your site. Only silver was available.
Of what is it?
Metal Flake.
Oh, in the bags?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't have them in the bags. We have them in the containers, and they're actually not out yet, but they'll be out very soon.
How long will the paint last in the containers after opening them?
In these right here, it all depends on how well they're sealed afterwards and how they're kept. See, that's still just a little too green. It's just how it's really sealed, but they'll last a while, and you can always shake them up and put a little thinner in them every once in a while. It'll prolong the life for sure. Okay, I put a lot of blue in this apparently. But there we go. We're getting a little closer. Let's do a smaller amount. We're gonna go ahead and dump a little bit of that out. That way we don't have to use so much red to kill that green. And then we might put a little bit of that yellow back in there too. Let's do that. That way we can brighten it up a little bit. Do you see how dark it was? We're able to brighten it up by putting that yellow in there.
Also, when mixing colors, you should always start with the lightest color.
Oh, that is true. We started with the darkest color, I think. You see how that's starting to get to the brownish sepia color. And you can tweak this as you want to do. You know, do you want? It actually needs. It needs to go a little bit more red.
Do y'all ever use an anti-static gun before y'all start spraying?
I've never used one of those, but I know like in body shops and stuff. There we go.
Yeah, that's a good brand right there.
I was looking poopy brown earlier a minute, but there we go. See,
yep.
And you see how big of a shift by putting the yellow in there too. It almost was black a little bit, but now we're at the brown that we wanted. So now that we have the main color mixed out, we don't even need these anymore. We got the color, and now we just need to change the shade.
Okay.
And the way we change the shade, I'm gonna have to pull these gloves off because that was a mess. This guy too. And the way we change the shade is we're simply just putting this into white base coat. So we'll take the main shade and we'll mix it with white base coat at different ratios.
Okay.
So what we've done here, what I've done earlier was, here's my original color. It's pretty similar to what I have there.
Yep. And
then what I did is I added more white as I went.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's basically, this is the same color, it's just toned down. See how it's toned down and we're getting lighter to almost to where the lightest right here, you know, that should actually be whiter if you ask me. But oh, there it is. That's pretty white compared to regular white. But we could add white at the very, very end, just in little spots. But what this is going to do is we're going to be able to bring up this portrait all together with these different tones. The important thing is when you want to work with, you can do as many tones as you want. This is as many as I can manage right now. I'd probably throw in like maybe one or two more usually. Because when you work with these tones, you want to like we started with this one right here because the panel is painted this color. So I took this color, painted it the panel. So now that's going to be the main base color. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll work back and forth between these colors, and I'll get a little darker. And then, but you can only bounce back so far. You know what I mean? You don't want to start here and start here.
Yep.
You'd start here and work and get your details out and then get a little more brave, hitting the darker and then go into the darkest. You gonna paint this mural or am I?
Well, we all know my attitude when I come over here. I'm like, I might as well do it, but I don't know. I'll be honest. With how amazing you are at murals and your airbrushing, it's actually quite intimidating to want to tackle a project like that, even though you say it's easy.
Well, you know, it's not. Okay. If you did it,
yeah,
and we're still going to entertain this idea. We want people to chime in too. Like,
so I don't know. Some of the people on here can be a little ruthless.
Who wants to see him do it, and or do I need to do this? Like, I need to know. But you can still get really good results with the airbrush. I think you'd be able to start it, and then I can help you kind of finish it.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm game.
He laughs.
This is good.
I know. What the hell was the laugh about, Adam?
I don't know. It sounded evil.
It did. It did.
Oh.
Oh.
No, it's the cold I have.
Oh, sure.
I just realized I just got out of a paint night. I'm pretty ecstatic right now that I don't have to. There's a lot of pressure. You know, you feel it? You feel
yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling it
because I felt it leave.
How do you think he feels?
The thing is, I'm going to keep your airbrush totally loaded with the right color. All you got to do is just spray it in the right spot.
Okay? That's no big deal, right? I appreciate that. Oh wait, I don't know if I can. I have arthritis in my nipple, so it makes it really hard to spray.
Yeah, spray with hard nipples, huh?
No, I'm down. I'm pretty excited. I've always admired your murals and the things you do, and have always wondered how to do it.
Yeah, it's not that. It's basically just like I said. I just created a paper stencil. I didn't cut out all of it. Just the stuff I needed. You know, it's not all there. Some of it we'll have to draw in and airbrush in freehand, and a lot of it really does. This is just basically a roadmap till we get a little closer, and then we can once you get down the line, then it's more intricate details that you don't. But right now, at first, there's not much you can mess up. So I'll kind of help you as as needed as we go. But at first, we're going to be able to lay this thing out just fine. Okay, so my question here is, I wouldn't mind just taping out this right here and this so we can keep this outside clean.
Okay.
So I got some masking tape here.
How much thinner? About half?
I'm sorry, thinner?
When you thin it.
1 to 1. Yes, so half. Oh yeah, is that half? No, 100% full. It all depends though. If your paint's been sitting around for a while, also it's, you know, to be honest with the airbrush, it's a little bit more than 1 to 1 reduction. And then really the 1 to 1 really is just a guideline, right? You know, because what do you use? You ever measure it?
Me?
Yeah.
I used to, and now I just kind of go off of just how it's kind of to the consistency of it when I stir it.
Yep.
Because I've noticed that with the airbrush that it almost needs to be a tiny bit thinner than 1 to 1.
Yeah. Spraying out of a smaller area, a little needle. So. Gotcha.
You did. We got one little spot left.
Okay. All right. So we do have a reference here because it's not all cut up. That would be kind of look at the shades and see what we got going on. You know, you can see right here on the nose. Actually, you can see that. So the nose right here, just for instance, I just got a little sliver cut out there.
Okay.
You know.
Yep.
And everything that I cut out is pretty dark. So we'll register it in a little bit darker color, and then we'll kind of go in there and use the other colors, kind of build up a texture.
Okay.
So we'll start by registering it, and then we'll talk a little bit more about layers and textures and stuff like that. Because when we first airbrush this thing, we're going to be treating the airbrush different than the last part of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because at first we can be way out here. When we're almost finished, we're way close and we're spraying down a little bit of material. But as we need to build this thing up with some texture and so we're not going to be afraid at first, but we're going to be afraid later. Okay? This will let you know.
I don't know. I'm afraid right now and later, so we'll see how it goes.
You shouldn't be.
No, I'm excited. You're a great teacher. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a great success.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you got a brand new airbrush, so
yeah, what could go wrong?
Nothing like last week, at least. Holy crap! Oh, speaking of last week, you want to hold on to that?
Sure.
So last week we did paint this Raiders sign.
Yeah.
That turned out clean.
Yeah.
We did the plotting and everything. But you can go back and watch this on our live on the Time Warp Custom Paint YouTube channel. If you go into the archives and the lives, you can see it. That's
So what went wrong? That looks great.
Oh, nothing went wrong.
Oh,
that went perfect. But yeah, I just struggled a lot. I dripped a lot of paint all over this thing. I don't know. So if you've seen it, we made it through it. So no big deal.
Yeah,
this
looks
thing
great.
Is super sparkly. Really nice. That's all black candy right there. Just that little bit of gray. It's just just a light wash of black candy. Doesn't that make a huge difference?
Yeah, it did make a big difference between the face and the helmet.
Yeah. Yep.
They said it looks badass.
It
Beautiful
does.
work.
Cleared with the double shot.
Candace says you got this, babe.
Wait, great double pressure. Yeah, I have to look great in front of my wife and my friends.
Okay.
Caleb said that if you want to practice airbrushing, he said get your favorite coloring book and use your airbrush instead of color.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually. Follow the lines, get nice tight lines and blends. The way you hold your airbrush is a big deal. Okay, so I think I'll move this up a little bit.
When's the orange tape going to be available?
My schedule's got really full, but it will be available soon. So look out for it. We'll advertise for it.
And is that orange tape? Is that B Diamond Leather orange?
That is.
Oh, yeah. So I like
the blue
that
one
tape.
isn't, but the orange one is.
The orange one is. Yeah.
Okay. Got that here.
Don't worry, B. We're all here judging you left. No pressure.
I don't know who said that, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we're gonna
Ben
start
said,
out.
"Hey, boyfriend."
Who said that?
Ben.
Oh, tell him what's up. Oh, I guess I'm saying what's up, huh? So this is a lighter color than our base.
So this is the color of the base right
Okay.
here. Yep. So that's what we used to do. We sprayed the whole base color, and that's actually what the pinstripes will be left too.
Oh yeah, huh?
So what we're going to do is just go a little bit darker.
Okay.
So you can see that that's slightly darker. So let me make sure I have enough reducer. Because the important thing is we want the paint to be really light, almost transparent sometimes.
Okay.
We're not looking for full coverage really at all. We'll let the layers build up on themselves. But if we spray too much paint on top, we're going to lose what we got, right? So that's why we're more careful later on down when we're painting than we are at first. So we're just trying to register it and make sure this paint's nice and thin.
What's your PSI?
PSI is pretty much going to be all the way up to start.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird on those things because they're backwards. It says it has 60 PSI. There's no way. No way. Okay, and then we'll let you. We're going to give you a little bit of a warm up too. That way you're not jumping like straight into.
Okay.
To paint.
And everybody knows this is the first time I've ever used an airbrush, right?
No. We know this is not true. Here we go.
Second time. Second.
Second.
Yep.
Okay. We'll get some paint in there so you can just practice your lines real fast, and then that's all we're gonna need. We might need to put a little bit of reducer in there. We'll see how it's spraying.
Okay.
Get the lid on there. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Do you have a paper towel?
Yeah.
Stop with all that BS, B diamond.
Here, you can just put that one. Keep that one for you.
What was that, Ash?
Stop with all that BS, B diamond. Don't paint your nails.
Okay, not too bad.
Yeah.
So we're gonna turn this down a little bit.
That, by the way. They're saying BS. They know you're a painter now.
I'm gonna thin it out. You can hear it. Can you hear it? It's a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah, a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah. And I kind of thought it was a little on the thick side. We put a little bit back. Where did I put that lid? That's where I put it right there.
How do you thin out the paint, or did I skip ahead?
Urethane reducer. Yeah, we thin it out, and we kind of did skip over it a little bit. I was just kind of doing it. Yeah, so we need to thin out the reducer, minimum 1-to-1, but sometimes more.
Well, in any of the products that we're using today, you can find on Limeline's website or Amazon, or
that is correct.
You know,
Amazon, eBay, Walmart.
Okay, yeah, that looks better.
See how that's kind of nice and soft?
Yep.
Try to, so yeah, practice some lines like that real quick.
B diamond pimping the brand, nice.
There you go. Okay. Natural.
There we go.
Yep.
Well, except for I stopped and started. But
yeah, barbells, you know. So, I mean, that's what you strive for is just so
the whips
is just the call it dagger stroke and start, stop, without like that. But you didn't even do that. See, yours was way better. Look, that one's good.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one. It's perfect.
That was look how great that was.
Yeah. This is what you really strive for. It's like, because you're actually on you're on the air and you're pulling back for fluid. So if you can start before you turn it on and turn it off.
So hopefully the very end is the hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you do hair.
Yeah, I was gonna say because your hair looks pretty good. Okay.
So what we're gonna do is, so all these parts that we're looking at here is darker than even what we're spraying, but we're gonna go ahead and register everything with the tone that we have, the color shade we have. That way we can, even though we're gonna go over it again, we're gonna lay down the stencil again later. We just need to know where everything's at so we can freehand get in there and put some tones in and make this thing look real.
Okay.
Okay. So all you're going to do is just kind of follow everywhere that's cut out.
Okay.
You don't need. You're not looking for full coverage. You're just looking to get it enough so we know where everything's at.
What about these bigger spots like down here?
You don't have to get the whole thing. You can just get the edge.
Edge. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the edge of the hair too.
And then the edge, yes.
Like all that.
Yeah, when you get the edge of the hair, you can just like actually aim for the paper for the stencil and then just let the overspray do the work.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll just take down that right there to keep you be quiet. Keep your mouth closed.
Is that what all we got to do?
Yeah. That's a trick. The black Gorilla Tape works way better.
Yeah, also leaves a set of lips on the tape for you too.
Yeah, you gotta rip it off really fast.
How much of the stencil will we end up using? Do we take it off at any point? Or?
Yep, we'll take it off a bunch of times.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. You can see the paint laying on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell because you're not oversaturating it. You get it on super even.
Well, I've definitely learned my lesson with the airbrush and oversaturating.
Yep.
And really, I'm not going to do it again. But
it's just airbrush control, and then making sure you have enough patience to know that it takes layers in order to build these things up. And you can always just like pull back and see if you've registered good enough. Yeah. So then just hit this whole side right there. If you're we'll blend that lace in there later. Grab that eyeball. Make sure we keep that down.
Her lip is quivering at his magic touch.
She's going to be beautiful. I already know it. Her eye might be a little lower than the other, but she's beautiful to me. you have any of these tattooed on you?
I don't.
You don't? Huh?
No.
That's surprising.
Actually, well, I kind of do. On my whole lower part of my stomach is kind of like gangster Day of the Dead chicks faces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Daniel at Heavy Hitters did it for me. He does a killer job.
Yeah, it's pretty popular, this particular design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think some of the people that made it like most popular was like, you know, OG Abel.
Yep.
Oh my! I actually met that guy a couple times.
Is he pretty cool?
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. He incredible painter and designer, airbrush artist as well. You know somebody named Fonzie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the toothpick Fonzie?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a matchstick. Well, it's either that or a matchstick. It's both. Yeah. Yeah, surprised. It's nice that I can bounce out people can know who they are.
Yeah. No,
he's a great tattoo artist and phenomenal airbrush artist. Incredible.
Yeah, he was at the Bo Huff Rockabilly show down in somewhere southern Utah, kind of ish.
Oh.
And I was down there with one of my cars, and he came up and we chit chatted for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Really nice dude.
Yeah, he's a legend in the airbrush community.
Carport Customs on said, "What's up, guys? Finally got some time to catch a live."
Hey, what up, brother? Low at Carport. We usually go live with him every once in a while.
With who?
His name's Low.
Oh.
Paints a lot of lows.
You Diamond, what do you have for a tramp stamp?
So my whole entire back is my car club logo, and then all around it are different cars that I've built throughout the years. And so technically my tramp stamp would be a 48 Ford truck that I built that was chopped and slammed, and then a 49 Chevy truck that was chopped and slammed, and then kind of faded behind that. It says really big misunderstood because I'm just understood.
Oh.
Candace, poor girl.
All right, let's see.
I'm not really seeing it.
Yeah, we can always. The nice thing is we can always line this thing back up.
Okay.
Let's see where we're at. But there we go. We have a nice.
Low said, "Got my spray can care package. Can't wait to try them out."
Oh, right on.
Nice.
Scott said, "Bo Huff lived in Daggerton, I believe, Carbon County."
Yep, that's where it's at.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not bad. Not bad. That's getting us there, right?
Yep.
They always look ugly before they look pretty, he says.
Yes.
So just know that.
And well, just so you know, we're about ready to make her look uglier because we're going to, as we build up more layers, we're going to lose contrast because we're going to use the same color we just used here.
Yeah.
But we're going to build up some detail and stuff like that.
Oh, crap.
And now we can actually start taking some of the because we definitely need around the eye done. So we're able to take that out of the stencil. Well, I finished cutting that out.
So now we just start removing stuff from the stencil and laying it back on it, or?
Yeah, so we will lay it back on it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use the same color. We're going to kind of follow the reference, and shade it. But first, I think we need to get this in there real quick.
Now, does it look like I went too dark or too light anywhere?
Nope.
Okay.
The nice thing is this is not a candy, so it's once you get it to one tone, it's not going to go any darker.
Okay.
So like candies, once you add more, it's going to keep getting darker and darker and darker. This stuff, so it's nice and sprayed light. That's all we need. We don't want a whole lot of paint on there because it starts to create like a little bit of a texture.
Yeah.
A little like sandy kind of texture.
Yep.
And it starts to mess with the way the portrait looks. It'll start to look dirty because your paint will, once it hits the surface, it grabs onto the texture and it looks like a messy blend.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Low says, "Sounds like a fellow mini trucker."
Mini truck. You have any mini trucks? Have
Nope.
you ever done mini trucks?
I've actually never done a mini truck.
Huh.
I've wanted one,
Yeah.
but I've just never done one.
My friend Cheddar had a mini truck back when
He's on.
he is. Yeah, he had a
Purple one.
purple Nissan. Nissan? Yeah, it was so. We took off those '80s logos on the side that were so cool.
Yeah.
It's like a little splash.
Candace and I were actually talking about that last night or the night before. So when I was 15, I was at a car auction in Southern California with my stepdad at the time, and there was a 1989 Toyota mini truck with the typical, triangle-shaped rims, and the triangles in the middle that kind of go around, and it was lowered and it had a shell, but the shell and the truck had been cut out, so it was a pass-through, so you just walk right in it.
Yep.
And I wanted that damn thing so bad, but
didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
I know how that feels. Okay, so I got that lined up just right. Can you see how I just kind of found the main points? If you want to grab your airbrush, what we're going to do is, looking at the reference here,
okay,
is it's a little light right here, and that's what we'll go ahead and do. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of, it's light here, and it's light here.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is just kind of fade this all in. Just fade it in like to up here. We won't get real close to the eye. We can come back the other way.
Okay.
But we just need to kind of get half of it done.
And then miss the light spot right there, right?
Yeah, so I would just kind of just like, not hit it so heavy right there. Yep, that's good for that area. And then just kind of come around this area right here.
Okay. Someone says, I have a question.
It doesn't need to be exactly like it. Sure.
The hood you did last week is different than what is on Amazon. Do you have those same hoods that are more flat?
More flat?
So I think he's looking at the plastic one, right?
Yeah, there's a plastic one that you're probably looking at.
And that's the metal hood panel.
Yes, we have the metal hood panel. Okay, so that looks good. And then maybe right here. See how it's dark right here?
Yep.
Lo said that's what we build at Carport Custom is those trucks. And Cheddar says it was cobalt blue. Which is a lie.
Barney. I like the purple though. I don't care.
Carport says he's currently building an 86 Mazda B200.
Nice. There you go. Next level shade in there. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, okay, she has a black eye now. Great.
Sweet.
All right. So we're just going to go ahead and see this guy right here. I already had this kind of pre-cut out the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just didn't cut out this last little one, so I'll just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so so Candace and I were talking about this, right? And I'm like, well, eventually it'd be cool to build a mini truck. But I want to remember in the late 80s, early 90s, how the mini trucks had the drips.
Yeah.
I want the drips.
Yeah, the drips. I think Craig Fraser did a lot of the drips. Like you talking about the big long, like the reverse flames kind of almost.
Yeah. But just big, huge water drips. Like the paint was dripping down.
Okay, we're going to give her a flower on her eye instead of a black eye here. Is this matching up right there? Like with the teeth? How's that?
It is right there if we move it.
Move it there a little bit.
Because this seems to be...
That looks like that goes right there exactly. That looks pretty close.
Yeah.
Yep. So I did the same thing right here.
Just around the edge.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, that's looking better.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That almost looks like a professional did it.
Yeah, you're almost done.
I'm done. I'm going home. I'm going home.
Wait, it gets better.
Oh, all right.
Well, no, it gets worse. Then it gets better.
Yeah.
This the Marine Corps is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
True.
okay. So what we're doing right now is we're just going to freehand some stuff. Okay. So there are some tones in here that are about the same color. Most everything's darker, so we're going to go over everything you did again.
Yeah.
But not so much. Maybe like when we do this again, we're not going to go exactly by what this is, but we'll probably, obviously darken these areas up more. Okay. Same thing with the nose and the mouth. But you can see we have the top of the lip registered. Mm-hmm. We have the was it those sewing?
Yeah. Well,
thread.
It kind of looks like, on that one, it looks like she's been split open.
Yeah.
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 But I think it's supposed to represent teeth for the skull jaw.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So that's basically that's what we're going to do. It actually looks pretty good like that. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing is we're just looking for areas, and we're going to kind of just darken the whole thing up very nice and gradual. But we want to look at the brightest areas, like right here. We want to keep that a little less. So kind of what you were doing, really nice and soft.
Okay.
Just try to find like the dark areas. Just put a little more right there. You know, put a little more right there. It's okay to go over. We're going to lose contrast. It's going to start to look a little worse. It's like you're going to think you're ruining it.
Okay.
And this is where you have to build the confidence where people are like, oh my God, this thing's turning into a mess. You know, it's like, but you remember, we're going to go back with darker colors and get back to this same point, but we're going to have more going on.
Okay.
Okay. So.
And you just want me to do this all by my lonesome self.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
it.
until I see I need to pull that tool. I need to rip it out of your hands later, but.
All right. Let's see.
Right. Let me,
son of a bitch.
I might turn that down just a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit it some air. I'm gonna listen to that thing. Turn down the air. You have a little more control.
Okay.
Over it. Yep. And you want to be, you know, you can fade it way up here too.
Okay.
Just do, you know, the bottom of the job. Well, it's kind of gone there.
Yeah, it's kind of gone.
But it's okay. This all can kind of be faded like naturally. Okay. And you can see like there's a little darker, you know, too. Just really, you can't mess it up at this point. Just so you know.
Want to bet?
This is the free for all for murals. Is the first you can kind of get away with a lot. Towards the end, you get away with a lot less. Yeah, it's looking good. So, yep, you just kind of follow up in there. And just do what you think. I'm going to take this down so don't blow away. I'm not going to hover over you, so I'll make y'all nervous. You just do what you think.
No, the hovering doesn't bother me at all. It actually kind of allows me to
know you're not screwing up that bad. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's going to look a little messy right now. But the thing is, we need to add texture because it's too flat.
Okay.
It's my job not to lose the stencil pieces.
The terrible job for you.
That pieces.
Oh, looks like we're freehanding the left eye. Blew away. And the blotchiness is fine, so don't even let the blotchiness worry you too much.
Okay.
But it's nice. See how you're kind of keeping that edge clean?
Yeah.
That's like a #1 rule that somebody told me that was like, it was the greatest thing I've ever heard. It was a guy called Drew Blair, and he's a photorealist painter. Drew Blair. A lot of people know who he is on here.
I do.
He could paint realistic murals that you couldn't even tell wasn't a picture.
Dang.
He would have them next. But one thing he said was, yeah, like, what's your biggest piece of advice? He says, keep your edges clean. See how these edges are real clean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll go back and we'll hit those with white again, but just see how you're kind of keeping it.
Trying.
That way you're losing less contrast, but you're gonna lose contrast, but you're on the right track. I saw that, and that's good.
Good. So typically from start to finish for you, without having to teach somebody, how long does it take you to do a mural like this?
I could probably have it whipped out like in 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours if I wanted to do it really good. Longer. You can. The nice thing is you can clear coat these and then go back and hit it with more detail, and then erase back into your lighter colors. And that's the way I do it if I want it to be super nice, because I can erase back. But I would say 4 hours I can usually get something done. That's pretty dang nice. Is there mosquitoes in here?
Yep.
Well, don't worry, Ash. They'll just come and eat me because they love
Me
me for
too.
some reason.
Me too. And
The
I
red
have
skin?
softballs on me.
Okay, so we got that's hair.
Drew Blair's
we'll leave the
classroom in a box is well worth the money. Tons of great knowledge in them.
Yeah, he probably says that same thing in the classroom in the box.
So are we going to go back in and darken in like we did this eye to that eye?
We sure can.
Or are we going to freehand that?
Let's see. Let me look at this thing. My plan was to... No, we can cut it out. Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
That'll make it... But my plan was to freehand it, though. But we can cut it out. Oh, I really did lose the eye. Very good. You ready for this?
Yep.
Oh, she looks scary.
Okay. Here we go. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. So, yeah, maybe just like around down there a little bit more. Maybe like
That little guy. Okay.
Right there. And then I might cut out a couple more pieces on this so I didn't get. That way we can register those.
When do you want me to spend for the first gift card?
Oh.
Shoot, now's a good time. You want to give him a second to. Give him a second to write it in, and we'll do it.
All right.
A couple more cut out here. Okay. I got a couple others I just pulled out of this.
Well, that looks scary now.
Love this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I know.
all, ah!
Telling you, it gets a little worse.
Someone said, "Why am I getting Rodney Dangerfield vibes right now from that portrait?"
It'll turn into everything. It's crazy. You'll lose so much confidence in like a matter of minutes. You got to get over it though.
She's fugly.
She has a sweet spirit, okay?
Okay, I think I got it right there. So there's I cut out a couple here that I missed, and then also right here there's a little bit I missed.
Do you want me to spin the wheel or wait just a sec?
You can wait just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. And then we'll do the hair. We can actually start a little bit with the hair. We want to keep really good contrast with the hair.
Okay.
But we do maybe just do a couple of wisps in here, and then there, just to kind of wisp it around a little bit, but nothing too much, because when we go with the darker colors, we want there to be a lot of contrast.
Okay.
Kind of make it look. See that even that little bit made it look a little more realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. That's kind of blending it in, gives it a little bit of direction. You know, that's really what we're looking for. Is
okay.
And
I'm going to assume hair is probably one of the harder things to do.
Hair is kind of hard. But we're going to get through it.
Okay.
It's not really the focal point. Really, is the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and the hair is kind of there too. But it'll look fine. Okay, that looks good.
Okay.
Looks blotchy, and that's what we want. So, believe it or not, that's how it looks, man. That's how. Let's see your airbrush here. I'll go ahead and clean it out. You take a break.
You want me to spin the wheel?
Yes, let's do it. I'm going to change the color. We'll spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
The wheel of torture.
Oh. What's got into you?
Me? I don't know.
You're laughing all evil and he diamond. You want to?
I'm just happy I'm not the one on the spot. Finally. I'm like, if this thing turns out terrible, it ain't me. Not me.
On. There's your winner.
Who we got?
Oh, JJ Kate Venus. Kate Venus.
All right.
Is that
100 times better than what Adam would have said.
Yeah, that's way better.
I'm going to guess Kate Venus. I don't know. JJ, you won the first gift certificate.
And stay tuned because we got another $25 gift certificate coming at you.
Dang.
You just winning here, right? Okay, next color. Well, same color, next tone.
Okay.
Going a little darker here.
Show them the color now.
Right there.
Chocolate milk.
That's not the same color we just used, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay.
I'm going to go with no.
But
But just know this is a pivotal moment in this. So if he screwed us up with the same color, just know that's why it turned out like crap.
it's on him.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I used the other one, so we're good. We are good. Okay. We'll see how this is spraying. Put it right here, so we need to lay it on here.
Oh, that's much darker. Yeah. Well, that's a tone darker.
Yep.
Looks great.
It seems to be doing pretty good. I'm gonna lighten it up just a little bit more.
Okay.
So we can be nice and smooth blends. And it really doesn't take much paint. Like these airbrushes, they do a lot. They do just with a little bit of paint. Oh, okay, I think we're better here. Let's see. Get an idea of what this little bit thinner paint looks like. Ooh, it's nice and thin. You see how it gets really wet right there? But you just gotta be a little more careful. But look how nice you can get those blends though when it's nice and reduced, right?
Yep. Looks pretty good.
Why do you get barbells? Is it because you stop so suddenly?
Yeah, so it's because, like I was saying earlier, you push down for air, no paint's coming out. But when you pull back, that's when you get the paint. So you need to actually start your line before you even start the paint. So if you start the paint and then move, you got barbell. Or if you start and stop, there's these little tricks called ladders. Try to make them perfect. What is that? It's called a blowout. That's fine.
That's the right color for a blowout.
Not needed.
I thought this was a PG show.
Yeah.
Cue in the evil laugh. Can't do it with my cold.
Okay, we're going a little bit darker, but we're gonna not do all the areas. You know, see how there's like a bunch of detail in here. We're not looking to do all that detail.
Okay.
We're just gonna kind of just hit the edges again, and then we'll hit this circle again too. Okay. So
I messed it up. There we go. That should be better.
Got it?
Push the back button on accident.
So more than that or less than
Let's
that?
see. We can take a look at it and see what it kind of looks like. Oh, yeah, that's looking good. See how that's giving that more contrast? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll get the eyeball in here. Do you think you got it around the edges enough?
It looked like it. I like kind of like the fade. I just don't know how much more darker we were going to get in there too. So.
Okay, so I think this one was. I'm not sure exactly. Well, I can probably see where I had my little. No, I'm just guessing. Looks pretty close. We're gonna go with it.
So now we're just doing the circle.
Yep.
Okay.
You have a cute little French manicure on one nail.
You like that?
On your wedding finger, yeah.
It is. Don't be jealous. Go. Looking at that. Okay, we got the eyeball over here. And let's get this matched back up. Does that look? Can you see that better than me, or is it really?
It's hard to tell on that.
Look at the picture. I think it's kind of pointed down the little corner of the eye.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing that on this angle. Can you see it right there? Let's see.
I mean, it looks on this side, kind of looks like it's matched up, but. There you go.
See a little better there. Okay, does that go down a little bit, or is that about right? I think it goes down just a hair. Yeah.
And then on this one,
we can. I kind of pulled that. See how I left that kind of loose right there? So you can kind of just go ahead and fade that just like that. See that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a little darker right there. You can hit the spot right above it too, actually. All the way around that eye. Yeah. And then in that eyeball, yep. And maybe a little more red there into that one. This guy up right there. We'll hit that. Okay, all good?
Yeah.
Here we go. That line back up. And then we'll end up fading all this. See how we're kind of, that all needs to be darker right there? We don't have that cut out on our stencil, but we're going to come in here and fade all the way down into that eye. So we're not going to worry about that right now.
Okay.
And then same thing here. We're going to darken all that back up.
Okay.
Let's make sure that this looks off a little bit right here.
I don't like that. Yeah, that bottom jaw, huh?
Yeah. Get that one loose.
Oh, there's this little piece. That's what's screwing us up, I think.
Okay, this one goes right here. There we go.
That is so unprofessional.
Oh, great.
I know.
During an interview.
I know. This is ridiculous.
You're grounded.
Okay.
Who does that?
So yeah, just follow this, and
The
you
90s
you
fall.
can fade into there pretty dark,
Okay.
Same thing there.
This sound like a 90s phone. Maddie was just telling me about how someone still had a wall phone out.
It did?
Yeah, that's what his ring sound like. Candace said, "It's not me." Pull the damn phone line off the cord. Damn it.
Kind of weird looking nose with the shadow, huh?
It is,
but it kind of does look like a. It does look like a skull, kind of a skull nose, though, for sure. Looking good. Ready for the eyeball? Oh, this stuff's all flying around.
Oh, yeah, see, I told you
we
wouldn't be able
need
to keep
these
it very
things.
long.
We're done with those. Okay, that guy right there. And then you can get right here on the bottom, looks like.
So that would be this area?
That would be actually right here.
Okay.
It's actually, and then see the bottom of that is actually
yep.
a little bit right there. I didn't cut that out very straight. Well, I actually cut it out too straight. What the problem really was. Okay, did you get the hair over here?
Nope, not yet. Not yet. Do you want me to get all the hair through there?
Yep.
Okay.
You can go ahead and get all of it. Yep. Okay. I mean, if you don't get it all, you still had it. You already have it registered once.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just kind of darkening it up as we go. And then maybe right here, like right where that line is. And then let's do a nice edging on this because it might be the last time that we actually edge this out.
Okay.
Might be. We'll see what it looks like.
How do you feel, B Diamond? Fine? Or are you
He's doing
feeling
pretty
pressured? He didn't hear me, and I'm right here by him.
Oh, he's working.
Oh, wait, what'd you say?
Yeah,
I said, how you feeling, B Diamond? Are you feeling the pressure or you're good?
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty confident with doing this with Adam right here. If Adam would have said just do it on my own, I would have gone home.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll grab this guy away.
But having him right here and kind of showing me, and this is what it's like when you watch his videos, though. You know, he's right there with you. If you're doing it at the same time that he's doing it, it kind of just gives that effect of him teaching you as you're learning.
Almost, yeah. And then you get around this too, just
And where did you see also?
Just around this top edge right here. Kind of register that.
When Adam paints, he also has lots of eyes on here that help him. Like you missed a spot, that's nice.
Yeah, they'll
it's nice.
let you know if you missed a spot.
It's nice because you would have made a mistake.
Oh, I know. Actually, to let you know.
Wait, who said I missed a spot?
No one.
Okay.
They missed a spot in here because I did clear over a stencil on this thing right here.
Where?
Right here. See that?
Oh.
I was gonna pull it out I can pull it out now. No, I didn't.
Now it looks like you meant to do it.
I know. Yeah, I did notice that happened.
They said we did that a lot last week.
Yeah, well, I messed up a lot last week, so.
He was felt pressure when his friggin' gun wasn't working. He was digging in the gun graveyard.
Oh, you didn't have one, huh?
I Frankensteined it together with a bunch of parts and then made it work.
Oh, that's never fun.
So
Hence why we have the new one today.
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly why.
I'm not doing that again.
At least he learns his lesson, right? Like,
But
I'm not doing
if we
that
had
again.
a line version of this.
I've tried. Is
it hard?
Yeah, it's hard to find a good one.
All right, I think I got
Y'all
every.
kinda
Oh,
change.
hold on. I lied.
We tried some.
There we go.
Did you get the spider web right here?
Yep. I thought it. Well, no, not in the middle. Oh, see, trained eyes. Trained eyes.
Mm-hmm.
When we were at SEMA, we tried some Japanese ones.
Oh, airbrush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we just felt them and held them and.
That's that company. I can't remember their name. Really cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
Minja? I think it's Minja or something.
Was it? Yeah. Something kind of like that, huh?
See, it's starting to look better.
It's starting to come together.
Some detail. We need to break in the freehand.
Oh.
It looks like that might be her.
Freehand, and then also we have a freehand shield that will help us create a couple hard lines where we need it. I'll grab it.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually kind of coming together a little bit, huh?
Looks like it could be her grandma. Minji?
I mean, yeah, Minji. Yep.
Minji.
Menji.
Actually, I should have I didn't get these little swirly lines right here.
A little darker.
Yeah, I think I need to go darker on those and the lips. Good thing about a stencil.
Iwata makes amazing brushes. I like the Gallier. Oh, I always say that name right. I always said that name wrong. Did I say right? I never say it right. Yeah, the Minji ones were like, were they engraved or something?
Yeah, I think so.
They were pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, I always say that gallery wrong. They try to make it look fancy.
Yeah, much better.
There we go. Okay.
Much better.
So now we can use this like anywhere we want. Like, see how that kind of fits in certain areas. You know, we can use this as we need to be able to shield a little bit. Again, that works in the nose. You know, there too, if we feel like we need it somewhere. But really, what we want to do is we want to build a little more tone to this. So you're going to do the same thing as you did before.
Okay.
Just kind of see how those are a little bit darker right there. You know, maybe kind of fade in there.
Okay.
If you can, you would leave the edges a little clean.
Okay.
See how clean that edge is right there?
Yep.
That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
This bottom lip, like right here, this would be perfect. Like we can even do it now. Let's see if we can find the right shape for that. See how we just need that little, because kind of we just lose it right there. It doesn't need to be exactly the same.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So we will we go. That was kind of put together.
Every time I see your hands, I still think, man, look at, I could get a good ivy in that thing.
There we go. See, and then just by picking it apart like that. And if you look right here, let's see what our stencil looks like again right there. Yeah, so the stencil's pretty much, we want to keep that together. So we can do the same thing kind of right here. Because this is printed out to the same size, so we can kind of even just see the point right there almost matches perfect right there, right? Wait a minute, let me make sure I do this right. Okay, there we go. Oh, we went a little up, but that's okay. Yep, we're gonna go in here with back with a lighter tone.
Okay.
But let's darken it up just a little bit, like up into here, really light. Just you could even kind of fog over everything a little bit. We also need to bring in darker colors into here. So let's go ahead and we'll darken this up, but kind of just keep it nice and do a little bit here, do a little bit. You don't need to you can kind of go and jump around.
Okay.
As you know, that's kind of what I do is I kind of jump around everywhere and build it up as a piece, you know. You can come back a little bit farther. There you go. And then you don't need as tight of a line. Okay. There you go. Just a hint of an edge right there. We're going to go back with the light and kind of nail that in with a little bit lighter.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
There you go, just like that, nice and smooth. You're okay.
That's not bad.
Nope, you're okay. That's actually exactly how it kind of looks, really. Yeah, that's looking good. Dark, you see how dark that cheek is? That's looking good.
That's hair.
Yep, and I think right here, like underneath this lip right here, see how there's just a little bit of shadow right there? Not too much, just a little gradual, like a, what do they call that? A midnight shadow? When you're, what's that called?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock shadow. Midnight shadow.
Midnight. What's going on?
That's the shadow you don't want.
That's the one you don't want.
Don't ask. I've been calling it midnight shadow my whole life.
Haven't you ever heard nothing good happens after midnight?
That is true. That is true.
Even midnight shadows. Those count. That chick's got a beard.
You're not supposed to mention that yet. We did get a little bit off on our stencil right
We did a tiny bit. That was my fault, though.
And then you can see, if you look real close, like, see how there's a little bit of light right here, and it was kind of a straight line.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just, mimic that just right there. just a little bit, and just giving these little tiny straight lines. Don't do too much, just a little bit of a shadow there, just like that. That's good. That was pretty. But having that hard line there is going to help. That was a little darker than we needed down here. We just needed it right there, and then see how there's still a little bit of shadows here and then here, so we can kind of just lightly blend this in a little bit. See how it's really bright right there.
So just, like in this area?
So kind of anywhere. Yeah. Kind of like in the middle a little bit. Down below. Around. Yeah. Kind of. There we go. That way we're losing a little bit of contrast there. That's what we need. So it's bright there. That's what we need. Yeah. Pretty bright there. Pretty bright there. We can kind of fade that in just a little bit. So come way up here and you can kind of just mist over there and kind of. Same thing. Oh, you got that. You kind of put that a little more, make that a little more even looking. And then come over into here again, and then do a few more wisps. Back into here. We can even go like this with the hair too. Let's do this.
Hair makes me so stinking nervous.
So go like this right there, and I'm gonna block that.
So just right here.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, punch that out a little bit, and then we'll just go ahead and kind of make this up as we go. I'll make that one kind of go over that.
So which way for the wisp?
Just right here. You just fill it in. Just hit that. Just aim for the edge. Yeah. And just kind of blend it in. Yeah, not much. See, we're just gonna create some different layers here.
Okay.
Hair just kind of goes every which way.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know?
Hey. No, nice. We've already had this talk.
How does B Diamond know, too, you guys?
Actually,
we're not freehanding anything with
you. You two are not the hair specialists here tonight.
There we go. That's enough. Yep.
Your wives may be, but not you two.
So really, you're not really trying to draw hair. You're not trying to draw each individual hair. You're just trying to get the direction. Okay. So like, this little chunk of hair here, maybe this chunk of hair here needs some lines going this way, kind of, some chunks of hair. See how these kind of go all are kind of just that way? Yeah.
Make sure you curl it the right way with the curling iron.
Like that? Or darker than that?
You can build it up a little more. Yeah. There you go. Like that. Yep. So wisp those down. And then some can come like even into the face. It really don't matter because this is the time to do it.
Someone said you could dagger stroke it in and detail it with fiber pens.
Yes, you could. Yep. It'd be better if we had a clear coated base. That way we would be pulling back to the original color. So yeah. And what he's saying is if we had this all clear coated, we would be able to come back with a razor blade or a pin. Fiberglass pin,
kind of like an eraser pin, right?
And we'd be able to erase back to the original. But if we do it now, it's gonna pull it back to metal because we're all just paint on metal here. But yeah, if you plan it out, sometimes I'll do is I'll even paint like what I call it underpainting.
Yeah,
paint it all really light, but a little bit detailed, but really fuzzy, but everything's kind of there. And then I'll go back and then punch everything out that I'm able to erase back. But not the method we're using here. It's a little different, but yeah. So let's see this eye right here. We really need to bring in a shadow right there to kind of bring that in right there.
Candace says it's looking amazing. It looks amazing.
Yeah, this is gonna be your first one too. So
yeah, for real.
You don't even need to worry. Okay. So what you're gonna do is just it's okay. You can kind of hit this and kind of just bring it up right there. Yep, you can do it soft to start. It can be fuzzy. I'm just going to bring it around to this, and you can do a little lighter if you want. Be a little stronger. And then just bring that into the top of that eyeball.
I don't know. I feel like I'm screwing that one up.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So let me turn this around to get a better angle at it. You see here we need to like darken that up right there because see how that kind of just all blends in.
Oh yeah.
This whole thing kind of just goes. Yeah.
So you fiber pin it once it's clear?
Yep. Oh, I know. After you fiber pin it over a base coat that's been cleared. That way it's protected. And then looks like we can just kind of get in here a little bit more.
Jeez,
yeah, so that looks better though. See how that eyeball is now connected? Mm-hmm. It's not out like floating.
Yep.
You know?
Looks like a whole different picture upside down.
It does. Actually, yeah, a lot of people actually paint upside down. That way you're not painting an eye. We're just looking for darks and lights.
Because your mind reads into it too much or what?
Yep.
B Diamond, do you still have enough time on your hands to do a really large knife sheath project?
Yeah, but yes. You just have to get a hold of me, but I'm probably 6 to 8 months out on my leather right now.
Wow. How far are you out on paint? 2 days. We're putting paint. We're going to put leather on the back burner here.
Well, it's funny too because I've had some people that said, you know, I'm good at doing my leather, but that I should quit and do paint.
It's nice to.
Well, yeah, it'd probably be nice to switch it up a little bit.
It would. I've been doing leather 15 years, and it's like I love it, but sometimes you just need a break because I've been enjoying painting.
Yeah. Well,
okay, so the same thing you did here, that looks great. See how we're just kind of melted that eyeball in. Now it's looking more normal.
Yeah, I thought I screwed that completely up. But it actually looks good.
It gets worse before it gets better, and then once we go to a darker color, all this is going to be like it's going to look great. You know, we're going to go a little bit with the lighter. We're going to go back to the lighter, and we're going to punch out some of the highlights, and then we're going to hit the dark. But let's get this darker. Kind of the same thing we did here.
Okay.
But if you noticed, her a little bit of her eyebrow or something right there, it's kind of like right in between that. So if we can keep that bright, and then shade underneath that, and then up above actually doesn't look too bad.
Okay.
If we can shade it underneath that and into that eyeball. And you can see how we want to keep that part clean, right? Because that's that. It does have some eyelashes going through it.
Yep.
We're not going to really worry about the eyelashes because those are final detail. We don't paint detail now.
Okay.
We're just getting the tones in a place that's close to where they need to be.
Okay.
So yeah, just
Can you tuck your Cricut in for the night?
Tuck my Cricut in.
That was me asking.
Yeah. I can drown it if you want me to, if I can find it.
Well, it's really the fan, isn't it?
Is it the fan?
Yes, bro.
Oh, okay. I can turn it off.
Thanks.
Definitely not fighting a ceiling fan, though. I can tell you that.
Now it's really mad.
It's slowing down. Kind of waking out, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's mad. You put it to bed.
It's not used to being turned off. That fan runs 24/7.
That fan and I have a lot in common.
Yeah, it's looking good. I'd probably come in the hair and then maybe just don't draw the hair. Just kind of darken this area in right here. And
just like shadow, like fade it in or what?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like we're not really looking to do, like you can just kind of just put some lines in there to darken it up. Just however you feel. Kind of lighter. Yeah.
At Time Warp Custom Paint, much love and mad respect from Australia.
Thank you. It's not me, though. It's this guy.
Tonight, it's B Diamond.
All right, B Diamond.
Then what about...
Yeah, let's do that, too. Yeah, let's kind of fade that in because it looks awkward being so bright, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking good.
I'm not going to brag about my wisps, but those are pretty good wisps.
They're not bad wisps.
They're not
We'll
bad.
adjust them later, though, so you don't worry.
They're not bad. They're not bad for being put on the spot and doing it for the first time,
I
okay?
was just coming to hang out and to talk trash.
I know, and then he put you to work.
I love it.
Yep. And then, so the eyeball right here. So we need something going on right here. See that?
Yep. When I was looking too, like how it is faded onto the actual white part of the eyeball right there, but I didn't know what we were gonna do with any of that, so I didn't want to get too close.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is just you're gonna get about this far away right here.
Okay.
So kind of fade this all in right here, just nice and gently. You're not really drawing anything, just kind of faded that eyeball in.
More than that?
And then maybe, a little bit more, because you can see that there's not a whole lot left there, to be honest.
Yeah, there's not,
I mean?
yeah. Because there's kind of like a little...
And then there you go. There you go. There you go. See, that just put the eyeball back. And then maybe we'll shadow, maybe we'll actually take... That's not the right one. We'll do...
Where's that little plastic thing?
Yeah. Or we might be able to use the actual...
Oh, the actual template?
Yeah. Use the template itself and then...
So do more of a hard line on that?
Yeah, just give that a little bit of a fade so it's not so bright right there. There we go. So that's pushing that eyeball back.
That actually changed that eyeball a lot.
Yeah. It looked horrible for us.
She didn't look scallywampus in the eye.
Okay, so yes, now that's looking halfway decent. So that's looking good. I think we're about there with that color tone.
What about right here on that part of the mouth? Should we get that with a hard line or no?
Which one right there? This?
Yeah, this side right there.
We sure can.
Well, that's up to you. You're the professional.
Well, because we did do this line up a little too high.
We did. That was my fault.
Actually, right here needs to be darker. You see that?
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's like all this right here. In fact, you see right here is cut off here, so that needs to wrap up and around, and then more of the shadows on the bottom looks like. That's good enough. So we're going to come in here with white. We're really going to ruin this thing, okay? Not with white. But
oh, great. All that work.
We got to get some highlights back, okay?
Okay.
Got to bring them back to the original. We're going to take them back to the original tone we painted, which is right here. So we're going to take it back. Thin this out a little bit. So we're going to make it worse, but we're going to make it way better right after. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
I'll take that. Get it cleaned out. Thanks. So that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, once we nail down those darkest ones, it really punches it out, you know.
Back and forth layers. That's how it works.
Do you still have that Osama bin Laden bomb?
I wish.
That was rad.
Yeah.
That was cool, huh?
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
When I went and printed out I had to go to the print store to print out the picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple stores wouldn't do it.
Really?
No.
They said no.
They said no.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was big. I had to print it out because I couldn't print it out with my regular printer.
Yeah. Like you were idolizing him or something.
Yeah, well, we just barely killed him like 2 days before that. And then I went with I need this blown up this big. Probably the words say, oh, it's blown up. What do you mean you need something blown up? Yeah, people weren't. It was the print shop on 25th Street. They were not having it.
Wow.
They sent me on my way. Finally, Staples did it. They're like, some kid, I don't care. Okay, so that's looking good and blending pretty good. So now, what we're gonna do is, that's light enough. Let's go ahead and let's get this edge right here. See how that edge right there is all bright? Mm-hmm. Let's just follow that edge, and it's okay that if you get it like.
Okay, so say that makes me a little nervous.
It's gonna look like crap, dude. But you're gonna ruin it here a little bit. But what we do is we need those highlights back, and it's okay to get it dirty on this side because we're gonna come back with a shadow. So what we're looking for is a nice clean blend on the inside.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Yep.
There, that's looking good. Yep.
Something like that.
Because we'll clean it this way. Yep.
Okay.
And you're just trying to concentrate on getting it. It's like this. That looks really good.
Okay.
That's nice. That's a little choppy, but we're okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we won't worry too much. So, and you see it right here on the bottom of the teeth, we can kind of like just nail those. And then we'll also do like above the lip a little bit. Okay. And we'll kind of fix that area right there too.
Don't worry, I'm eventually going to get to the paint part.
Yeah, it takes a minute. Like, how far do I pull back? Sometimes you just need to. You can even be back a little farther too.
Okay. Well, I'm just so trying to like get these little thin, stinking lines.
Yeah, but you can, yeah, just like that, nice and soft.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you said kind of through here.
Yeah, and you can even just kind of, since we already have that part of the stencil, you can kind of just like
highlight that.
Yeah, highlight, and you can go right through those. Yeah. A little softer. There you go. Okay, and then come up over here, and we'll get some more. Like, see, there's like a lot of white right there. Mm-hmm. Back up a little hard. There you go.
Oh yeah. Softer definitely is better. I was going too hard on that one.
A little too hard right there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then let's trim some. See how it's pretty bright right there.
Yeah.
And then even up here, we can kind of pull back and then try to loosen that up a little bit. There you go. See how that's kind of. Mm-hmm. You can kind of bring it up into there. Okay, that's not too much. That'll be good. And then looks
getting a little gun ho in here.
Yeah, you get a little confidence there. Okay, and you can do the middle of the nose right there, but come up quite a ways.
So which part of the nose are you talking
about? See, like right
like
here,
that.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
But just nice and soft. Just try to go a little bit.
I need to stand up.
There you go.
My angle's funny.
Yeah, yep. Something like that. And then we can come up in here. See the bottom of the eye is really, this whole eye is just really.
See, that makes me want to get close to try to get a...
You can. The closer you get, the more accuracy you have to have with the trigger. So it's better that you're a little bit blurry and too fat rather than all splotchy and too much paint.
Damn it.
It's okay.
Oh, that wasn't all right. That wasn't too bad. I can fix some of that.
Yeah. We're just getting the highlights.
And then do you want me to lighten that and that up?
Yep, you can lighten this up right here. Yep.
Okay.
Just like that. Nice and soft. There you go. Nothing too crazy. And then we can lighten this side up too a little bit. And then, yeah, kind of like right here too. Just kind of, you don't need to worry about getting all
of that. They're really bright.
Yeah, it's just kind of really bright right there.
More than that?
No. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then,
what about that line right there?
We're going to shadow the bottom of that. Okay. So once we're all said and done, I don't think we're going to get much of that. Yeah, we're gonna end up shadowing a lot of this in to make it look a little better.
Okay. What about this side right there? Or no?
Yep, no, I would do that, yeah. Softer the better, because that's pretty dark right there. So it's gonna, there you go. Just that's enough. Yep.
Okay.
I'll just brighten that up. And see right here, like kind of need to come up into there. Okay.
What about
right. I think we're about.
What about like the tip of her nose? Does that need to be?
That's what?
Like the tip of her nose?
Yeah. Yeah, we got that. Yep. Oh. That's pretty bright right there. That's looking good. Okay, let's darken this thing up a little bit, huh? So we got the.
At least he doesn't say, you know what, that really sucks.
No, we're about ready to fix this thing.
This lady looks like she lives on the streets.
As you can get it for a first timer.
You'd run if you saw this lady.
Come on.
I mean, it looks identical to this photo right here. You could not tell a difference.
Wait. It always is uglier before it gets better. Sometimes I watch it and I'm like, what in the hell? And I'm like, oh, there it is. How'd you do that?
Okay. We are the second to the darkest color.
Adam is definitely a great teacher.
He is.
Whoa. That's pretty dark, okay? That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. There's your airbrush. And we didn't lose any parts. Okay. Re-register this guy.
All artwork has an ugly stage. Some can get pretty ugly for a long time.
It's never recovering. Yeah, Adam says it's supposed to look like that. I'm still working on it. Okay, so once we do that part, we'll kind of push that down a little better.
Okay.
Yeah, so once again, we're just going to go around and we're going to try to keep it tighter. You don't even really have to get up here at all. So get up and around here and just kind of darken that in, and then we'll get the other stencil in there to kind of freshen that up.
So I'm darkening the flowers around it?
Yeah.
Design around it?
Yeah, just kind of follow the edges and just kind of...
These guys are talking about to do the urea crystals.
Oh, the crystal mess.
They use jet dry.
Oh yeah, jet dry. Yep, I heard somebody say that.
Parrish.
Rather than
he uses jet dry and bull whatever the hell it's called.
And dish soap.
No.
Urea.
Ghana.
It is urea.
No.
Yeah, it's urea. That's what mixes stuff.
No, I think it's something else.
No. This is the one that's a little tricky.
Oxgall.
Huh? Oh yeah. What is it?
Oxgall.
There you go.
Bladder from an ox.
What is that?
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's like that.
I think it might be.
So make sure we're on the. That looks right though. Okay, let's go for it. Hopefully we're
So
right.
what am I doing?
Not she has two eyes.
She has two eyes. Well,
she does have two eyes.
Am I going over all the lines? Or
not all. Yeah, kind of over all lines, and then also see there's the fade.
Yep.
So we want more than that. Yeah. So the lines for sure, and then the outside edge. No, wait a minute. Am I wrong on the outside edge? I am wrong on the outside edge. We're not doing the edge.
Yeah.
We're only doing in the.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I was right. It is from an ox's gallbladder.
It is?
Yeah, I wasn't lying.
Ew.
I wonder why it makes that effect.
Ox balls?
Gallbladder, bro. And urea is pee. Oh. It's bile extract. No wonder why it freaks out.
Okay. We'll fade this in when we're done. We actually have this one to do too. spot for that. Yep, and this bottom, you can darken up that and just kind of blend it in from the edge, even into the eye right there. There you go. See how it's blending in that eye? That was good.
Kept our highlight.
Okay. And we'll obviously freehand some of this back in here in a minute to get that eye back. And then let's just see what that kind of looks like. Well, we can just kind of move on. We know that looks good.
Would you quit putting your hands in her mouth?
Come on.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, until
you can go. I mean, you can do all this actually right here.
Okay.
And then I'll grab that other eyeball here. Okay. You can get it all in that up, yeah. Darken that up nice. And then even right here too. Then we'll darken up around. We're gonna darken up in there. Yeah, that's looking good. And then this whole section right there looks like.
And that's okay. So that is that highlighted area right there.
Yeah.
So it's underneath that.
Yeah. So it's actually a pretty fat chunk right there.
Yeah.
The only one you want to kind of keep clean is this one. The one you're kind of spraying.
The one I'm spraying right now.
Real good. Real good. Okay. And then coming up into here, same thing. Because we got that highlight back in there. It's going to brighten that up. Yeah, hit all this edge right there. Side of her face, that'll chisel that out. Yep, and then the bottom of that lip's really dark, so
It is, huh?
yeah. Then make sure you get in here so it kind of gets the teeth right there.
And then what about the little serrations in her lip?
Yep.
And then the jaw?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what that looks like.
Okay.
We can peek at it. See where we're at. Getting better. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lightly, so we do need to come in here and darken that area again right there, just like we did last time, and a little bit above too. And then see how this is really white? We're going to kind of blend, you know, nice and soften that up. You know, we're going to kind of soften all this up a little bit. But yeah, definitely, I think right here, we'll just go ahead and trust that shadow right there. And then same thing here. We'll kind of just like darken that up a little bit too.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn it this way. So
whatever's comfortable.
Upside down?
I like the upside down for that eye.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because you get the better
I guess
direction.
You can kind of reach it better, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, the direction's better.
Yeah, I can see that. Having the brush go at that angle.
Yep, you can even be wet. There you go. There you go. Yep. And then kind of fade this a little bit. We'll leave the highlight up right in the middle and up there, but then maybe just a little bit down there because it's a little too stark white right there. Okay. Just a tiny bit. Not bad. There you go. That's good. And then see right here where it's not too bad, but just do a light coat just the same direction kind of at, and then we'll kind of darken that up a little bit. And then okay, and then maybe a little bit more right there. We can hold on real quick. I can actually grab the stencil, and then we can. Do something like that, right? Yep, right there.
So where am I getting?
Just you're gonna aim right here and just get this. Okay, that's good. Yep, see a little bit does a lot on that. So that's nice. Now we got our little, what do you call that? Little, I don't know.
Little thing in the middle.
Yeah. Ashley knows. What is that?
Yeah, well, hey, nurse. What's this part? Underneath my mustache. What's
Cupid's arrow.
It's a Cupid's arrow. Why didn't you know that?
Oh, jeez.
She said that sounded made up.
Okay, so it's looking pretty good. Like the top of the lip is a little bit missing, as you can see. We can do more work into that.
Okay.
So, but really, what we need to do is just get rid of all this starkness. So a little bit more of like, just kind of kill that white right there. It's just a.
So should I be coming at it like this angle, like this, or this way?
Like pretty much just like you can come any direction. Just. Yeah, and
so I'm aiming right in that area.
Yeah, just aim in that area. Yep. Just overall, we're just gonna kind of kill that white a little bit. Yeah, see how that kind of push that back a little bit. Yep. And then also right here, we can just push that back just a little bit too. Okay, not bad. Looking pretty good. Okay, we're going with the darkest color now. We do need to darken up this right here. See how dark that is right there?
Yeah, for her hair.
Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll address that right now.
Oh, that's almost perfect.
That looks like that.
What the hell? That's pretty good.
Go ahead and darken that up a little more. Keep doing those same strokes.
Okay.
Let me use this as a stencil right there. Okay. And then we can kind of under it a little bit. Let's take this right here, and we'll kind of just fade that area.
Like this, just that area?
Yeah, just like, see how it's like right there?
Yeah.
It just doesn't look quite right. Kind of trick the eye, and we'll kind of push that back a little bit. Areas that look bad, we can always push it back a little bit.
Okay.
That's looking good though. The hairs, not. This is how I would do the hair.
I thought you were doing the hair.
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't done anything on this yet. But same thing kind of you are doing, just.
Oh, dang.
But see, I'm just kind of following the direction.
Yeah.
More wisps.
Just kind of, yeah. we can just kind of see like what's going on here. But just kind of do the same thing with that. See how that's kind of starting to turn into hair a little bit? We're kind of starting to build it up. Same thing here. That doesn't look like much. We'll just kind of make that look like that's hair. Nice and wispy.
You're like doing these cool wisps that I'm
yeah, I'm special. You know, I got my time in. Get this last color, and we will punch out a few of these darkest. Okay, yeah, that's looking better. Yeah, we might actually even leave it because that doesn't look that bad. We'll actually might just leave it like that, and then what we're gonna do is that's gonna look pretty good. Once we untape this for your first mural, that's actually pretty damn good.
Is it?
Yeah. So we're gonna take the darkest color that you have in there right now. We're just gonna fade around this edge right here. So we can fade this as much as we want. Like, see how it's pretty white right there? We can fade that and like fix our mistakes. So, like, we don't really like that area, just fade it, you know?
Yeah. So
what we'll do is we'll put kind of a little bit fatter of a fade, but it's better to aim like this, right?
Okay.
If I was like this on this side,
yep,
I'm blending onto my tape.
Yep.
You know, so here I'm blending onto my panel.
Yep.
So yeah, you can go ahead and rotate that. So you're in the perfect position to kind of come around here and do the whole thing.
Okay.
And then we'll lace this part, and then we'll do the last little bit here
with this color.
Yeah. So yep, the same one. We won't go darker because then I'm afraid it might get too dark. But right now it's actually looking pretty damn good.
So what got you into doing murals?
Once I figured out you can make paper stencils and it wasn't all about freehand.
Mm-hmm.
And once I figured out I was able to do it, it didn't really take an artist's eye to know how to do it. But yeah, my first mural wasn't this good.
Really?
No. I also didn't have really anybody like, I kind of just, to be honest, I don't think anybody taught me the paper stencils. That's kind of like something I kind of came up with, and it's not like I invented it. A lot of people do it. To be honest, even if it's your own design, it's better to draw it out onto paper and create a stencil and airbrush it down. That way you have templates.
Didn't you take a class by that Shannon lady?
Yeah, I did.
That girl?
No, not. Yeah, it was a guy.
Oh, I thought it was a girl that taught it.
A girl taught it, but then I had a.
I'm talking about the girl that's like blue.
I didn't do that one in class. That's over here. That's I did on my own.
That's not the one you did in class?
No.
Oh.
There you go. See, you noticed that was a little funky.
Yeah, I just made it more funky though.
You're okay.
But we're gonna lace that anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we're gonna lace that, and then we're probably gonna like move the stencil over here, so we have a little bit of brighter. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay.
More of a fader. Or is that good?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. The eyeballs look pretty damn halfway decent. Okay. So while we're at that color, we might as well get the lace out.
Okay.
And kind of want it to be lighter so it doesn't really pull away from, not a lighter tone, but not sprayed so dark. Where did that go, actually?
The lace?
Yeah. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, so this is the new and improved lace. And let me grab the stencil.
Well, and I like that it's green effort. It almost looks, what is it called? Effervescent?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
No, Adam always says that. That's what you put your dentures in. Iridescent. Adam always wants to say that too. That's funny that you both want to say that. That's really funny.
Great minds think alike.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and spray that and see what that looks like.
And you said not so dark, right?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look
There
like
you
I
go,
got
a little
everywhere.
more. That's little hearts in it. You notice that?
Anyone can paint a mural like this as long as Adam is
There
there.
we go.
Yeah. Point.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we could have got more in there, but that's okay.
No, it doesn't look bad though.
No.
Gives us an idea.
It's better that it's lighter than darker.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you really don't want it to take away too much. All right, let's pull off this.
Okay.
You can slip that right. There, I'll take it right here. I got the warranty on it. You can throw it on the ground, actually. Like, really, I only got 90 days to ruin the thing. See, it looks so much better already with that off.
It does.
Okay.
How big are the pieces of lace we sell? 4 feet?
Those are 7 inches by 4 feet. Yep. Okay, so let's do some
Spider webs. Okay.
And we will do them.
Like
We want to, yeah.
Okay.
So we want to do them kind of fat, like just like a sun ray.
Yeah.
You know, so you're gonna go right here.
Okay.
And then, so I'll start this first one right, maybe like coming out from right there. And then your next one will be. We don't want to make this too gnarly where it's hard to do a bunch of little things. So probably about that fat.
Okay.
And then I really wanted to throw down some freaking variegated around this edge. Hoping we have time. I have to ask my agent.
Well, you're at 2 hours and 5 minutes.
What do we need to be at?
Well, when it goes over 2.5 minutes, it kicks us out.
2.5 minutes?
Or 2.5 hours. I'm sorry. It doesn't. I don't know.
Well, sometimes we have problems. Yeah, that'll work right there.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so what we're gonna want to do next is connect them, but give it a little smiley face.
Okay.
And you can just go ahead and break it, and then we'll trim them up.
Smiley faces and spider webs. I never thought of that.
You know, trim those real quick. Trim them up, and then we'll get those out of your way.
Oh, that sucked. I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna.
Oh, that was good. Wait a minute.
I hated that one right there.
Why?
Why?
Well, all right, we'll just keep it.
This guy's killing it.
I was thinking that one looked good. I liked how it was offset actually, because I never do them offset. So I was like, okay, I like how he's doing it different.
Oh, well, then we'll do traditional tattoo style ones that.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Oh my gosh. Justice in 3 said, this guy's killing it.
Oh man, yeah, I thought they were going to say the exact opposite, but no, that's great. I knew you would do it. I was just joking with you. It ain't even that hard. Like you do this one, and you do a few more, and you'll be surprised. But remember, it gets worse. You get your feelings hurt in between every one. It's like, God, what am I even doing here?
No, I've learned that just with painting alone. I've had a couple of misfortunes with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Misfortunes.
Yeah, I've called you about every one of them.
Yeah. I would have known. Just kidding. Yeah, I know.
Well, you want it to be, you put your all into it and you want it to turn out amazing, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and so, when it, you get a mess up, and even more so when you're first doing it, you think that it's the end of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I screwed this up. Oh, that's perfectly fine. You're all right.
Well, like last week, I was a mess.
Really?
Literally a mess. And I pulled it through. I was pretty proud of myself afterwards. I was like, man.
Just awesome. Love the way you teach this.
Yeah, this was quite the surprise. That turned out way better than what most people do first go around.
I mean, I don't think it turned out as good as you, but I'm actually surprised that I was able to do that.
Yeah.
You can't
it's only up from here.
You can't compare yourself to him. He has 20. We keep saying 20, and I think it's like 25 years. We keep saying 25
well,
years.
I have to, though. You have to, if you don't compare yourself to the best, you'll be happy just being mediocre.
That's true.
Well, the thing is you don't compare yourself, but you could be like, dang, okay, what can I learn? Like you said, your mess ups. That's the best way to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's inevitable. Did I say that right? Inevitable.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. You're going to have paint pill. You're going to have paint leak underneath your tape. You're going to have paint wrinkle. You're going to find light spots when you all thought you were done. You're all cut and buffed, You're like, God, what did I miss that spot? There's so many things. There's so many variables when it comes to paint.
Well, and I know you had said it, and one of, I can't remember who said it on the channel here, that custom paint requires custom solutions to custom mistakes.
Yes. And that's really, you know how to fix your mistakes, you're a decent painter. Because you've been through it. And you can know what you can get away with. And usually you try not to do the mistakes again, and then you get remembered, like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I pounded that paint on way too thick because I was just in a hurry. That's usually what it comes down to. It's like, especially if you're going to clear coat and you're in a hurry to get clear coat done, you might as well just wait till the next day.
It's true.
Why you rushing one of the most important parts? I'm gonna trim these real quick. Sorry,
I'm gonna do this one really quick.
You should be proud, Adam. You did amazing. You compare yourself today to who you were yesterday.
That's a good compare. I like that. Just trim these, and then we can
some good webs.
I just called my mom, said, Mom, did I do a good job? Yes, you did, sweetheart.
I had no idea what you did, but yes.
Isn't that always the answer?
Okay, and we'll go ahead and run some masking tape right there so we don't get any overspray. It really wouldn't matter, but yeah, we'll just keep it clean. Keep it clean, and I think we'll have enough time to do a little bit of variegated on the edge real quick. And then...
Well, it was kind of cool, though, with all the skate decks I've done, and then doing that 48 Chevy truck that I just did for a club member. The tricks and mistakes that I made on my skateboard decks and the other little things that I've done made a night and day difference in knowing the right thing to do on the truck.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. It's like they're asking questions, how's this going to look? I'm like, you really should do a practice piece. Spray it out, see what it looks like, see if you like it. Because especially if you're new, you might as well get the jitters out on a practice piece. Okay, that looks great. We're going to take the same airbrush, Did I put white back in this, or did I? Because we do need to hit those highlights on that mural when we're done. Okay, no, we're the same color. So we're at the darkest.
Okay.
So all we're going to do here is basically just follow the lines.
Okay.
They're like whoop-de-whoops. Whoop.
Yep, and I'd probably do that one more time.
Okay.
That'll help blend it out a little more.
Okay.
And then I would follow this one all the way around.
Okay.
What PSI?
We're probably like around 20 PSI. It's hard to tell because we don't have a gauge that works correctly. But really, the pressure on this really wouldn't matter. You could have the pressure all the way up because all we're doing is following the lines. You only want the pressure down when you're doing detail, and you really need to start pinpointing to get closer to your project. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, take that. We're gonna peel that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get this. Let's see. I will get the white back in there, the lightest color, so we can do the highlights in the eyes.
Highlights make me nervous.
Well, we're just gonna do a couple of dots.
Okay.
And then you could pull off the actual the web on that.
The webs?
Yeah.
Where's our Limeline black razor blades?
Tape removal blade?
Yeah.
Ashley has, I think, one over
Ashley,
there.
do you have one of those?
I have one.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
And you guys think she doesn't do anything.
On the contrary.
What does
She
that
does
mean?
everything.
What does that mean on the contrary?
I have no idea.
Like Little House on the Prairie, or what are we talking about?
Huh?
Actually, I'll be honest, everybody. This is all AI. Ashley doesn't have a computer.
What you're looking at is not even real.
Both Adam and I are not real. We're just figments of Ashley's imagination.
So, Adam, what is a mural paint shade order? Lightest, next lightest, dark, light? What is it again?
So really, I mean, it kind of depends. So I like to jump back and forth between two shades that are right next to each other to build up texture, and then eventually I'll start going darker, and then I won't usually go back and forth at all. But in the early stages, I like to go back and forth to be able to build and build up that texture. But yeah, it's always light to dark.
So what you're saying, though, is that once you go dark, you can always go back.
That's exactly what I'm not saying. Okay, so there's two ways you can do this.
Okay.
We can.
So you proved that theory.
No, I'm
well.
definitely not doing it. I'm definitely not doing it. I'm gonna have you do it freehand, but you're gonna have to
Freehand it?
Yeah.
Huh.
So let's get the reference over here. So all we're doing is this dot
Oh, okay.
and that dot, just in
Okay.
the eyeball. So we're gonna put that dot right here,
Okay.
and we're gonna put that dot right there. So that's all you're gonna do. See, I'm just kind of.
Yeah. I see how you do it.
Yeah. You want to practice
It's
right
that
here?
easy. Huh?
Well, this is our.
That's kind of Okay, that's a little
Yeah.
darker. Yeah,
Just like that, right?
Just like
There
that.
you
That's all you gotta
go.
do. And you're gonna aim right here, and usually straight down.
So it's kind of right. See, I'm nervous that I'm not over it right.
Turn it upside down, maybe, so you can see it different.
He's got it. He's got it. There you go. Whoa! It came out quick. That's okay.
did.
Oh, it looks great.
Oh, shit. That scared the crap out of me.
Okay, you just do another one right there.
Oh, damn it. 2 of them.
Right there.
She has 2 eyes.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
That'll do it. That'll do it.
It's crooked.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah, that's good. You did it good. Now we're going to clean out the airbrush.
Perfect, B.
Thank you.
And we'll do some variegated.
Oh, variegating. I love variegating.
Finish this thing up, and then don't forget, lime into the comments because somebody else is going to win.
Oh, yeah, we got a $25 gift certificate to give away.
Yeah, we keep forgetting. I'm sure they haven't forgot, but we got you. Okay, yeah, got the glue. I'll hold that for 1 second.
Yes,
Get
sir.
this mixed up. We'll be using the lime line sizing glue. Shoot, Ash, you got any water? I drank all mine. Still a little bit, sorry.
I was going to say, all I have is spit. So
That would be our next go-to. Slobber in it a little bit.
I have some spit for you.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Okay, so we're going to need to tape this up.
Yep.
So I probably could. Here, let me put that back in the holster. Grab those. And what we might do, I have some...
Bubba said, not the time for Haktua.
I do have this. Let me
Oh,
try
yeah.
something real quick. I don't want to take too much on here. Maybe just on the edge, and then definitely don't want to do that. There we go.
Can I spray candy over the flake can, or should I clear it first?
Oh yeah, no, you can go candy right over it, but you do need to add clear after though. Or you can do.
You could candy right over this whole thing, huh?
You could candy all right over this, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I was also thinking that putting a really light dusting of a gold metal flake would look amazing too. But we'll see.
Bubba's on, and he just gifted 10.
Wow,
memberships.
again?
Yep.
Who won?
Bubba.
No, Bubba's helping people out doing he buys people
Oh, that's right. I did see him do that.
the memberships.
Yeah.
Which is great because they get extra content and also they get the discount off of the website.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Bubba, for doing that.
Yeah, thanks, Bubba. Great supporter there.
He says, I always got to show some love.
Yes, sir, man. We appreciate you for that. That should be all right. I'll overtake that just a little bit.
He says, thank you guys for all you do on here.
You're welcome, bud. You're welcome.
It's not me today. Thank goodness. I'm not under the pressure. Okay. I think that's... we'll put pieces right there.
Yeah, I just kind of taped
Lay
it
that
over.
down, huh?
And hopefully Candace hasn't eaten all the ice cream before I get home.
Oh, great.
What
Well,
kind
we're
of ice
almost
cream
done.
do you eat all the time?
What kind of ice cream do you eat?
Yeah.
Simon?
Do you choose
fudge.
boring flavors?
Well, anything that doesn't have wheat in it, because, you know, that stupid wheat allergy that I have.
Great.
I know. Ruins my whole life.
Okay,
Cat and
so
kids.
you know how to do this, right?
Yep.
So
What
nice
the
and
hell, I
light
didn't
coat, and
know
I'll go
we
grab
did.
the variegated.
I didn't know wheat was in ice cream.
These right here. Oh, we do have variegated right here. Oh, look at that.
I just realized that's a template, not the actual paint. What a great practice idea. And Candace said, wait, we have ice cream? She just run into the fridge.
Yep.
You shouldn't have said it. Gonna look good.
Then we get to unwrap it again and see what it looks like. That's the best part.
That is the best part. I love that part.
And I've found out, and I can't remember if you told me to do this or if I just found out by finding out, but I like to do several light coats of the glue before I do my leafing.
Yep. Yeah, it's better to do that light coats because it dries faster in between coats. Because really, by the time you get all the way around that, it's ready for another coat.
Yep.
As long as you're applying it light enough. If you apply it really heavy, it literally takes a lot longer, and it creates a texture.
Yeah.
It's not moving along.
How many coats do you want me to do?
Probably 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. And this is variegated, so it's pretty forgiving. You know, that's the nice thing about variegated because we're not going to spin it. We're just going to lay it down, and then if it doesn't lay down perfect, like it gets a little wrinkle in it or something, it still looks fine. That's the great thing about variegated.
It is. Well, and on that 48 Chevy truck I did variegated leafing on that, and it was accented by the line candy blue, and oh man, that just popped.
Oh, blue over the variegated?
No, just blue next to the variegated.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. That felt pretty good.
I thought so. What do you think?
Let's
A little more?
that feels pretty good actually.
Okay.
Maybe one more
round?
One more wetter coat. Because we can go a little bit wetter.
Say that again. Can you say that 3 times?
One more wetter coat.
Actually, Candace found this the other day. She said someone was saying that you can't say, and I'm going to say it slow, Irish wristwatch. Say it all together.
Go ahead, Ash.
Irish wristwatch.
What?
Irish wristwatch.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Irish wristwatch.
That's what I do. Irish wristwatch. And she had a pretty funny dad joke that's not really funny.
Oh, I love dad jokes. Dang, I love them.
Some people might take offense to it, though. But I'm going to say it anyways.
Well, I love even better that it's offensive.
What? It's funny and it's not funny because you'll understand. But what kind of shoes do pedophiles wear?
Goes my mom.
White Vans.
Oh, jeez.
I apologize for anybody that might be offended by that joke. You need to text Candace and tell her that it's not funny.
I really love the variegated because it sticks to the backing and makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, at least for me, I've laid down like 6 sheets. I think you've done a couple, right?
I'm in no rush.
That's the way to be. That's the correct answer. You just passed.
There we go.
That's like a big eyeball.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that clean enough, or is that like here's a better one?
No,
I
it's
think.
clean.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about cutting the leaf thinner when you're doing thin lines like that?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
you can. Yep, with a razor blade, you can.
Yep.
Got to cut it all like as a pack, though. Like, and you have to run a couple passes through it. But
What about fatter?
it's hard to go fatter. You weld them together. Yeah. Yo, TIG weld. It is aluminum. God, I need to make this 8 inches big.
Yeah, that's actually a couple of times I have taken a pack of the leafing and either super sharp scissors or a razor blade and cut it in half to fit the little line that I was doing.
Oh, nice.
And then Limeline also has multiple sizes of the spinning. What is it called? A spinning brush or a spinning?
It's called spin tool.
A spin tool. So if you have a small little one line like this one, we could use a small little spin tool.
Yeah, we could actually spin this if we wanted to. It does put a little bit of This actually laid out really nice. Look at that.
It did, yeah.
Wow.
It all blended very well.
Excited to see what it looks like all together. You want me to clear this thing with your next things, or you want to take it home now?
That's always a hard one, huh?
It's kind of hard to leave empty-handed, right? When you feel like it's like leaving a baby, right?
Hey, I have the memories to go with me.
Okay, this looks pretty good on my side. What do you think?
Yeah, mine's looking pretty good.
All right. Let's unravel this thing. And we'll do our last giveaway. What do you say?
I say we do it. It's getting harder every day just to try to make my way. Oh, it's looking great.
We were trying to teach our grandson a song.
Just take that orange off.
Last night, and Adam had it perfect.
What's that? I had what?
We were trying to teach him that motor song.
The motor song.
He bought a motor, so it was his birthday, and we took him to Smith & Edwards, and he bought a chainsaw and a motor.
Wait, when was your birthday?
No.
It was
Asher's.
Oh,
Our oldest
grandson. Wait,
grandson.
and the grandson wanted a chainsaw and a motor?
It's a play chainsaw. He wanted a chainsaw and then
a motor that you
Harley
take
motor.
apart that has spark plugs. Yeah, it's a Harley motor. He wanted that. So then we were trying to teach him a song.
Born to be Wild.
Yep.
Get your motor running.
Yeah.
Hit it on the highway.
Yeah. I'm not good at that. You guys are good.
You're not good at
Singing.
That's a pretty easy one to sing.
Bubba just gifted 10 more memberships.
All right.
Dang, Bubba, thanks.
Okay, family's getting bigger.
The web's looking fire.
Yeah, the web's really good. Everything's really good on that. I'm just really gotta clear it up. This guy.
Love the leaf.
Meet in the middle.
You guys were like Lady and the Tramp with the spaghetti needle. This time it was a piece of tape. Isn't that darling?
She gets so jealous.
I know. She just wishes that she got it.
That's why I put the spit comment in there later.
Let's see if that spin does anything here, huh? We'll just kind of test it right here and see. Nah, I wouldn't.
No.
No, I like to double leaf it when I spin. You know,
Same.
When I spun it right there, I kind of got it a little bit black right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually when I spin it, double leaf's the better way to go.
Yep.
Just flip this around so that doesn't go on laying that wet paint. Yeah, look at that.
That looks great.
Man,
Heck yeah.
your first mural.
That's not too shabby, I guess. Huh?
There you go. Not bad, not bad.
Too.
All right, let's give the last thing away, huh?
Yeah.
Do it.
Someone said, which one of you is the tramp?
Well, probably me.
Probably me, he admits it.
And we might have to fight over that. I don't know.
Oh, it is my shop, though. So I guess you're going to have to be the tramp. Sorry.
It looks awesome, they said. Good job.
All right. Cool. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Just
for the
goes
opportunity.
up from here. Now you learn something else, you know?
Yeah.
It's just being patient and looking at the darks and the lights. You're not really, when you're doing that, you're not really painting a nose. You're not painting an eye. You're just trying to put the tones where they're supposed to go. So when you're painting in a monochromatically, because that's what this is called, in a brown tone, it's easier because you're not really like trying to find the color. You're just trying to find the shade.
Yep.
The tone.
Yep.
So it's like, as long as I got the tone, I know I got the color right. So these are perfect to start out doing the monochromatic. And personally, I like them better than a colored mural any day.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is blue. I like to use blue candy because I feel like you can get the blue spectrum can go all the way from light blue, almost white blue,
Yep,
to purple.
Yep.
Dark purple. So you got a lot of ways to shift it. With this, you do, but it's not as the blue is so clean and so crisp. And the nice thing is, like if you're doing this in black and white, you would be wrestling with blue shift. I don't know if you ever heard of blue shift. So blue shift happens when you paint something dark and you paint white over it, or like a light color. It's going to have a hue of a blue to it. The reason being is because blue is the most prominent color that there is. So that's like a first thing our eyes will pick up. So anything that's like light over dark is going to have that blue shift. And when you have blue shift in the middle of a mural, I don't know if you've ever seen anybody paint a mural, but it looks kind of like light blue on the top because they just overdid it with the highlights over top. And then if you're painting it in this, you can kind of get away with it because it's not really in dark black, but you still do get a little bit of blue shift. But when you paint in blue tones, you're using the blue shift as, you know, it doesn't matter. It's already blue. So that's why I like painting in blue, because you don't have to worry about blue shift or color. It's just all the tones. You just do all the tones.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Do you like to paint light to dark or dark to light?
Always light to dark, unless you're working with candies, and then it's the opposite. It's light to dark, or it's dark to light, because you can always lay down a root beer candy and then put a gold candy over the top. You can't put a gold candy and a root beer candy over the top and expect it to. The gold's gonna be gone. But the gold would tint the root beer a little bit more to the goldish side, which looks better. I mean, same thing with like if you lay down a green candy, you could put a gold candy over the top and it's going to turn it more into like an antifreeze kind of a green. But you can't do gold and green over the top, then you just have the same color of green. So it's flip-flop. Depends if you're working on with transparent candies or if you're working with pigmented base coats. Okay, let's spin that wheel, huh? I'm sure they're waiting. And we're only over 2 hours and 40 minutes.
That's not too bad.
That ain't bad. It's probably one of our longest ones.
Yeah. But we got a whole project done besides clear coat.
That's right. Could actually clear coat it.
We could.
Yeah. Oh, we got Infidel Graphics. He won it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's been a minute.
I recognize that guy.
He did it.
Way to go, Candace. Thanks for not putting my name in.
And eating all the ice cream.
Yeah. Guarantee she's probably asleep with an ice cream bowl on her chest right now.
Yeah. So just a couple other things that we probably do to make this a little better. Like the eyelashes, we would come in with and just do, little tiny strokes with the eyelashes to do those details. But you can see you can get pretty good results without having to really do all the details. It's just about make sure you put the paint where it needs to be and creating a nice template to start with. That template did take me about an hour to cut out.
Okay.
So, spend the time to make sure that's all nice and neat, and then it's way easier once you get to painting.
Well, and I don't know who all of your followers or subscribers subscribe to me or follow me, but as I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. And so if you're thinking about taking up painting or airbrushing or murals, whatever it is, do it. Go for it. Because once again, I've never done this in my life. I've done the leafing, but never a mural. So if mine doesn't look too bad, well, guess what? Yours could only be better.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
And you can use my promo code.
What's
on
your promo
Limelight.
code?
My promo code is all capital letters, B Diamond.
B Diamond promo code.
Get you 10% off at checkout.
I like it.
Here you go.
Okay, well that's it. We're gonna wrap this thing up, and if you have any more questions, we'll hit them next week. But appreciate y'all being here, and see you next Thursday.
B Diamond. Good job.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem.
Always fun.
Got me off the hook.
Good night, guys. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there.
It looks even better on the screen.